Ba, 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 ba. In this video, I want to go over how to play Quickness Scrapper in HCCM. I quickly will go over the build, which traits that I picked, and what gear you'll be using. I'll also show how to pre-stack Quickness, and then I'll just give some commentary over the POV that I've recorded. I definitely didn't play perfectly, so I will be calling out where I went wrong as well, and hopefully you can learn a bit from it. As for gear, we'll be running full Berserker, and on our hammer we will be running Night Sigil and Bloodlust Sigil. And for the traits, it's exactly the same as the Quickness Scrapper. The only change in traits is instead of running gyroscopic acceleration, you'll be running mass momentum to have one additional source of stability, which will be on your function gyro. Then as for utility skills, I would say these 4 skills are fixed. You could swap out Blast Gyro for more damage, but you need to be really confident in applying quickness, but also you need to be confident in your heal lag to provide 25 might. The healing skill, however, is a lot more flexible. It depends a bit on your composition, so what is in your team and do you need to fill in some gaps. The 3 options are Medic Gyro, Healing Turret or Medkit. I usually run Medic Gyro if there's a low uptime of protection, especially during Zhaitan Fear. You really want to have protection, and then you can use your F1 to provide that for the group. Then another option is Healing Turret. Healing Turret is the lowest cooldown blast finisher that you have. This is, I would say, the most beginner friendly one to pick, because Healing Turret is really easy to play with. And then lastly you have Medkit, which I think is the best healing skill you could pick. Reason being, one, you have the blast on your 5, which has a higher cooldown than Healing Turret, but in addition to just giving quickness, you also give swiftness, vigor and regen for quite a substantial amount. In addition, you can also cleanse conditions with Cleansing Field. So overall, I like Medkit more, but Healing Turret is definitely a viable option, or Medic Gyro. Next up is Precasting Quickness. 2 main things to understand. Throw Mine goes on cooldown once you place it, and if you play Healing Turret, it detonates at the player. Remember that Healing Turret, when you detonate it, it's a blast finisher, and that blast that happens at the player. A typical precast would look like precasting Throw Mine, precasting either Healing Turret or Medkit 5 into Blast Gyro. If you precasted Throw Mine early enough, you can use Throw Mine again into Function Gyro. This leads to around 15 seconds of quickness and a fair bit of might. So here I start the fight with Precasting Quickness, as I just shown. During pushing the orb, you can give quickness by using your Throw Mine and your Hammer 3. You don't really want to be using Blast Gyro because you want to save that for the ramp up at the start of the fight. Look out that Hammer 3 is a bit difficult to play, since you can get an AoE spawning underneath you. Here you can CC with Hammer 5. I was a bit late here. I was a bit hesitant whether I wanted to save it for the boss. Then here you precast your mine and your minefield, and you want to boonstrip as soon as possible. Now if you detonate your minefield, so your tool belt mine, early enough, you can use it before spreading out, which you can see here. Usually you want to do 2 Hammer 3s before moving out, so that the whole party has a good amount of quickness before you're back again. Now here you can see me throwing away mine again for the boonstrip. If you're quick enough, you can detonate and then replace it again, but here I was fairly conservative because I'm not used to boonstripping yet and I didn't want to mess it up because I told the hams to not run mine. Now, before the end of every phase, you want to try to give as much quickness as possible, because when you're in stealth, obviously you're not stacking any quickness, and it takes some time to ramp up your quickness. So you want to have some buffer. Now here I make my first mistake. Look at the rest of my party, look at where I'm standing. If I want to give quickness to the group, I should be stacking on the left side. I didn't, however. Luckily, I gave enough quickness beforehand, so they didn't run out. But yeah, usually you don't want to be standing where I was standing. Notice that I boonstrip there. If I would have used Blast Gyro earlier in the fight, I could use it to pre-stack might while people were waiting for the green. I was a bit late with that, so I couldn't. This is just typical stuff. You just follow the rotation and pre-place my mine for boonstrip. Again, if you want to play a bit more aggressive, you can detonate the mine early and then replace it again. But it's a really tight window, so I wouldn't recommend it if you just start out playing Quickness Scrapper. Now here you want to be using Blast Gyro. I'm not sure if I did. I did. Basically to give instant 25 might to the whole group. Again, you boonstrip. Now this phase is a bit boring. Just follow your rotation. Precast your mine. Make sure you boonstrip. But you should build up quite a lot of quickness during this phase. Reason that you want to stack up quickness during Kralkatorrik, so you still see me using healing turrets sometimes in Hammer 3, is because when you spread out to Timecaster or counter push, you want to make sure that people have around 20-30 seconds of quickness. So yeah, that's about it for this phase. I'm not sure if I went counter push in this run, but I guess we'll find out. I did not. So yeah, I'm a Timecaster, so I can pre-place my mine to boonstrip. I pre-place my healing turret, so this is just your typical precast, but then like the shortened version, because you don't have that much time. Now this is just standard stuff. You kill the Timecaster. One thing that you can do is you can help with Mortar Kit killing the crabs if portals are struggling with killing the crabs. You can also heal your party with Mortar Kit 5. Here I just use Hammer 5 to CC. You could potentially use Throw Mine as well, because it will be off cooldown once Mordremoth spawns. But yeah, since CC wasn't an issue, I didn't think it was necessary. Here again, you can boonstrip, so make sure to pre-place your mine. Now I give stability with the defense field. Usually what I do is I want to save function gyro for if a sniper is running into someone. So you can hold it a bit, because as you will see, I think I'm already at like 20-30 seconds of quickness pre-stacked, so I can save function gyro. I didn't do it that well here. I should have been a bit more attentive to my surroundings. Luckily there were no snipers around, but you could potentially save your function gyro to give someone stability on the spot just before they would get knocked. Now here, the good thing, Scrapper has a nice burst, so you can do Minefield into Hammer 5 into Hammer 2. Here I didn't want to use Blast Gyro because I was afraid that the portals would run out before it would apply quickness, so I held on to it for a bit. Also, I didn't use throw mine during the giant phase because I was the main boonstrip. So if you use throw mine to basically attack the giants, you won't have throw mine up to boonstrip at the start of Zhaitan. Here you can see that our poor weaver died because we didn't have protection. So that is a good example of me maybe running Magic Gyro to give that protection. Also, you see here that a poison field spawned. I could have blocked that poison field with defense field. I simply missed it. I wasn't paying attention enough. But yeah, that's something that you can do, which is very nice. So if your Vindicator is sleeping a bit, you can be the backup Vindicator to block the poison. Now again, the rest is standard stuff. You boonstrip, you give quickness. Now here you can see I use defense field to block off that poison. So you can actually see that it does work. Here again, you boonstrip the salt spray. Try to give as much quickness as possible. I think the main thing that I struggled with at the beginning is that you continuously want to be given quickness. Whereas usually, like during this phase, I wouldn't give quickness at all. But it's very important to buffer as much quickness as you can. So that you have a lot easier time keeping it up. Here, as you can see, you can CC with both Hammer 5 and Throw Mine, because Throw Mine will be off cooldown again. Again, here I boonstrip, recast Might. Here you can use your defense field to give stability to the other quickness source when going to the green. I don't really think it's necessary if people are comfortable, but it's an option. Here, my mine, I think, yeah, my mine got triggered by an ad. I'm not good at boonstripping yet. This was one of my first times trying it out, so I'm still improving. But what I noticed is that during Soo Won 1 and Soo Won 2, you want to hold on to your mine if you're boonstripping. Because there's so many ads around, they will trigger your mine for sure. So basically, you don't want to precast it because it will get triggered. Now the rest is the same again. You go to your green. Notice that while I'm running to the green, you can continuously attack with Mortar Kit, which is one of the, I would say, one of the nice things about Scrapper is that you continuously keep attacking. Here again, we need to hold DPS. Provide some stability if you can, because there's two abominations around. There I could have boonstripped, but yeah, it's like 1%, so it doesn't matter that much. Also, what you could do here, if your defense field is up, if your Vindicator is a bit late with putting up his bubble, you could place your defense field on the orb. Now here it's important to start pre-stacking quickness as quickly as possible so that everyone has around 20 to 30 seconds before the champions spawn. Here you precast you use function gyro and defense field to give stability. I usually do a hammer 3 here to make sure that everyone has quickness before we spread out, especially for the portals. Simply go to the middle, do your green. Here I waited with boonstrip because what I learned is apparently if you boonstrip too early, it gets reapplied again. And here you always want to be keeping an eye out on the Obliterator is already dead, but you want to keep an eye on the champions. And basically hold on to your defense field and only use it when either abominations are near or when the Obliterator is about to dash in. So don't use it off cooldown. I did it here, which is, yeah, a bad play by me. I should have just held on to it. One thing that I forgot to mention is your tool belt skill bypass coding, which is a stun break and gives super speed to your allies. You can use it at Primordus, you can use it at Zhaitan to stun break your group. You could also give it to give allies super speed when running to a green, for example at Zhaitan. Or you could use it when you don't have stability, you see that people get knocked around, you can quickly stun break them. So it's overall, it's a really useful skill. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.